Well, the corn isn't as high as an elephant's eye, but the barley is probably about groin height now. Just noticed this rather tasty looking cherry next to the pineapple weed, and going up past the brambles, and I look upwards and I'm a bit puzzled because that's all hazel. Oh, there was a cherry tree over there. Maybe it's fallen off that. Although I can't see a single berry on there, and it's a little bit early. And they normally don't look as good as that one. That looks like a shop bought cherry. I think someone's been eating their dinner. Oh, I don't know. There's more here. No, there's definitely wild cherries. Ah, the wild cherries, the bird cherries are all ripening now. Look at that. It looks so tempting, doesn't it? But trust me. Oh God, look at the length of my fingernail. Must get that cut. Yeah, they're really not worth trying. These are as sour can be. Your mouth will hate you. But still, very nice to see them. And look, a fresh oak apple. So the gall wasp was doing quite busy. And hasn't had a chance to go brown and dry yet. But yep, there's a fresh oak apple. I'm not entirely sure what that is. It's obviously a kind of gall of some kind. Look, another smaller one there. Interesting, because it's not a nopper gall, and it's not an ordinary gall. You know, an oak apple. I will have to go and look it up. Well, the dragons are fledging early this year. And I see that the first hazelnuts are starting to come in. There they are. Look. I think they're filberts, that particular kind of hazelnut, because they've got the wrapping that goes all the way around the outside like that. Either way, I'll never get to eat them because the squirrels get them long before I get anywhere near them. But as you can see, there's quite a few around here. This is all hazel. A lot of this is hazel all along this path. But I doubt if I'll get a single nut. Will I, Pug? Nope. You might be able to hear it, but there's a sound of distant shotguns sort of over in that direction. And I'm trying to think what it would be. I can only assume it's a clay pigeon shoot or something like that, because we're still in early July here, and the glorious 12th, as they call it, not so glorious for the animals, doesn't start until August. So it can't be pheasant or anything like that. It's the wrong time of day for rabbit. It's the wrong time of day for deer, really, as well. So that's all I can think. Must be clay pigeon shoot. But there's a lot of guns going on. Pop, 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 pop. Yeah, interesting. We've got a little bit of rain today, so I'm staying to these little wooded corridors that exist between all of the meadows where I normally go out walking with Harris, and it's keeping us reasonably dry because there's quite a lot of leaf and foliage cover above us. But it is making everything smell fresh and nice, and there's a cleanness to the air. Everything's been a little bit humid and heavy the last few days, and you know, almost feels sometimes like it's quite hard to breathe even. But no, it's lovely today. It's feeling quite fresh. Yeah, enjoying it. Always famously behind with the trends, I've bought myself a selfie stick recently. It's quite a flash one. It turns into a tripod, and it's got quite a long reach on it, and it's got a little remote control as well, so I can turn it on and off, which is quite handy. But it might just add another dimension to things. I've also bought myself a drone, which I think would be quite nice to give you an aerial view of some of the places I walk. However, ever since I bought it, it's either been too windy, too wet, too hot. I just haven't had the right day for it, because the annoying thing is I've got all these wonderful meadows behind me where I can quite safely fly it and learn to fly it, and I just haven't had the opportunity yet. But my time will come. I was just looking at the floor and thinking to myself, all this stuff here, all this beautiful leaf litter, which is all breaking down and becoming loam, it'll all break down and it'll eventually become like this. It'll be ground, you know, it's just become soil. And it got me thinking, there are millions upon millions of tons of leaves fall like this on the ground every year and make a new layer of soil, even if it's only like a fraction of a millimetre thick. And it makes me wonder, is the Earth now much bigger than it was a billion years ago? In other words, you know, if you look back to the very origins of life, or indeed the origins of plant life, you know, it's all that time dead plants have been falling down and turning into soil, and that's got to raise the height of the ground, doesn't it? I mean, I know the height of the ground does raise anyway. I mean, if you go to somewhere like Bath and you visit the Roman baths, you'll see that the Roman baths look as if they're actually underground, but in fact where the baths are was street level at the time of the Romans 2,000 years ago, and it's now about 10-15 feet underground. So 10 to 15 feet have been added to the depth of the soil in Bath. So is that the same all over the Earth? Because if so, how much bigger is the Earth now than it used to be? And why do I keep thinking these weird things when I'm on dog walks? This has to be the most productive beech tree I think I've ever seen in my life. Look at it. It's completely covered from top to bottom in beech mast. Wow, I don't think I've ever seen so many beech nuts on one tree before. And it is not just this bit, it's the whole tree. It's the whole tree going right up to the top there. Wow. It's a good year for the beeches. So another dog walk done, and I have to say I'm feeling heartened today by how many insects I've seen. I've seen small bees, I've seen wasps, I've seen flies and beetles, I've seen lots of butterflies, lots of different types of butterflies too, which is great. And I've heard quite a lot of grasshoppers and crickets. I mean, that's encouraging, isn't it? Anyway, I'll see you next time. Bye bye.